G'day everyone, it's almost lunchtime. I'm getting a little bit hungry, and before I go for lunch I wanted to cut this podcast right now to explain to you how we can actually learn from the Coles Delicatessen to actually make your business thrive. Some key takeaways over the last few days for myself, some great B-roll on the video side of this podcast as well. Go and grab it, let's get stuck in right now, because all of us can be so much better at our business, making it grow and thrive because of lessons learnt from a Coles Delicatessen. Alright, so some people love their meats and their fresh seafoods and things like that, and their all the little treats that come from the delicatessen at Coles. Probably 5 days ago, 6 days ago, I was away with the family, grabbed some groceries at the local Coles, and yes, I'm using their name because heck, I'm allowed to. So here's the thing, we went to the Coles Deli, and naturally you might resonate with this story a little bit. You walk in, you get there, there's 2 or 3 people waiting. It wasn't very busy at all, to be totally honest. You know, I've got my 3 daughters and my wife there. We've got, half a trolley full of groceries, and we walk up, sort of waiting for a couple of seconds to see, who's around, who's next in line to get served, who's there to actually service. And I start to realize within that first 2 or 3 seconds, hang on, there's only like 3 people, there's a couple of people serving, and I make eye contact with one of the team members from Coles, and she, middle-aged lady, hairnet on, etc., points to the little red ticket machine and says, "Take a ticket." And so I'm like, okay, great. Now, straight away, I'm not really feeling loved. I'm feeling like a number in the system, which, let's be honest, I completely am when you go to the Coles Deli, particularly in this situation. So I go and grab my ticket a couple of meters away, and I stand there with number 86 or whatever it is in my hand, and I wanted to cut a podcast about it because straight away this is a huge avenue for you with your health medical business to be able to understand how fundamentally wrong Coles gets it in their delicatessen. Now, you could do this for Woolworths and a whole lot of other supermarket chains. You can do it for other people. Fundamentally, if you are taking a ticket from someone's machine, you're literally being told, "G'day, you, take a number in the system. You're just one person in a line of customers that we're going to serve." No one's there to greet you. No one's there to be nice to you. No one's there to get to know you. No one really cares. There's no relationship. There's no rapport. It's just, we'll get around to it when we feel like it. You're a number in the system. The cogs will turn and we'll serve you when it's your turn. Now, fundamentally, we can't have people walk into a health and medical business, just sit down and go, "I'll see you in 1 minute," and pull punches that way. We can't do it. Doesn't work in our business. I totally get that. But let's dig a little bit deeper on this, because the lesson here is that we need to make sure that we're building our businesses with the right relationships in place. We've got to get the right trust with people in place. Fundamentally, people buy from friends. Friends buy from friends. If you've got a plumbing need or an electrician need, the vast majority of times you'll actually go to the person that you know that is an electrician or a plumber, for instance. How many times do you go off recommendations? You don't even these days go to Yellow Pages. I mean, heck, does anyone even have a Yellow Pages book? There was that whole time period where everyone would go onto Google if you didn't have someone. But now, there's nothing more, nothing strengthens my argument more so than if you look at the platform itself of Facebook. Facebook even have recommendations, ask for recommendations, and it prompts you to do that at times. How many times in the last 2 weeks have you seen friends, family members, colleagues ask for a recommendation on Facebook? And Facebook will identify the fact that friends buy from friends. You have more trust and more respect from your friends and family suggestions than what you do from just Google. So we're not going to get into the SEO, the Google AdWords, the ratings and the 5-star reviews and all of that on this podcast. But the power of that is a hell of a lot less these days because people are fundamentally understanding that you can get a better recommendation and have more trust and integrity and respect and love and those scenarios in place from recommendations and referrals, because friends buy from friends. All right? You always ask your colleagues or your friends or your family about, I need such and such, do you know anyone? Or you're telling them, hey, I've got a leak in the roof, and before you finish your story, your friend or your work colleague jumps in and says, my husband Tim, he's a plumber, I can get him to come around. Or you get etc. Right? You get what I'm trying to say in this point. And so we know that businesses are built and grow and thrive more quickly on relationships, rapport, referrals, recommendations, because they're built on trust. They're built on a level of trust that can't be gained through any other way, first and foremost at that speed. The speed in which trust can be gained from other people that you already trust and like cannot be surpassed in any other marketing way. So if you can actually have people that already trust you, that know you, don't just know you, don't just like you, but trust you, give that recommendation and put you forward in that avenue, then you'll always be able to build and grow and thrive your business a lot better and faster than any other mode. So if we bring that back to Coles, what are Coles actually doing to signify trust with me at that point? What are Coles actually saying to make me feel good, to actually feel like I'm liked, to actually feel like they appreciate my business, my time? I mean, I'm there with my wife and my 3 daughters. They're 6, 8, and 10 at the moment. They were looking all pretty, and so you sit there and you go, wow, I just literally feel like I don't really care. I don't know who you are. Just wait your turn. I'll get round to you when I can be bothered. They're not instilling any happiness, any gratitude. They're not making me feel welcomed. They're certainly not making me feel like I've made a good purchasing decision. And so here's the thing. What are you doing in your business right now? In your health, your medical business, as a professional? What are your admin team doing? What are the receptionists doing to make people feel really valued? Do they walk into a room? We've all had those medical centres, let's be honest, where they walk in and you go, it's 30 people here, this is going to take hours, right? You might be an allied health business that has 8 therapists working at the same time. I mean, that's what we do in our practice. And so we may very well be in a situation where you've got some people walking in, some people walking out. You might have 4 or 5 or 10 people waiting. Someone might be there with a partner, someone's there with kids. All of a sudden you've got 10 or 12 people at once. What are you doing in your business to make people feel welcomed, to make them feel like they're important? All right? What are you doing to make them feel like part of your community, your family, your tribe, etc.? Because if you treat them just like Coles treated me last week as a number in the system, then I tell you right now, there's no loyalty. There's not a huge level of trust that's been made there, and the long-term viability is going to be easily swayed to someone else, aka your competitors. So here's the thing. It's not just about you saying, hi, how you going? I've got an 11 o'clock. Great, take a seat, won't be long. That's not good enough. That's exactly like Coles turning around and saying, hey, grab a ticket, I'll be with you in a moment. It doesn't make me feel welcomed. It doesn't make me feel loved. I don't feel important. I'm not, I'm certainly not going above and beyond for that client right then and there. So take the time right now to stop and think, what can you be doing in your business right now to actually make sure that you know all the people coming through? Because I can tell you now, some of the best tips are you need to make sure your front desk team know every single person by name. And you might go, well, that's not possible if they're coming in for their first appointment. I dare say yes, it potentially can be, because here's the thing, even if you've got 6 or 8 therapists working at the same time, then most of the time you're not going to always have 3 different therapists working with someone new at the same time. So you know that if someone's walking in for that 11 o'clock appointment, you are pretty sure that if you don't know them, then that's Bob, because Bob's about to walk in right now and you don't know Bob. So if you don't know them and you know the other team members or the other clients, then you know what? That's going to be Bob. What if you actually walked in and you came up and said, oh, look, I'm here for an 11 o'clock appointment, and your response was, or your receptionist's response was, are you Bob? You must be Bob. I don't know you, and I'm expecting to see someone Bob in front of me. You can have a play around with words on that. You can have some fun. You can enable people to drop their guard a little bit. Now here's the thing, if they're Bob, they go, yeah, that's me. Fantastic, Bob. I'm super excited to be able to meet you. Hi, I'm such, and you move forward with that. Straight away, it becomes a relationship. You've actually taken some extra time and effort, all of what, 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds on a slow day, and you're actually developing a relationship with those people. You're actually making them feel special. People, first of all, love to be called by their name. It creates a deep connection, and we know that it gets people a lot more with their guard released, so they're not as defensive, they're a lot more open to be personal, and you go towards the trust side of things a lot quicker by using their name. So even if you don't know the person, you know what's on the diary, there's a very great avenue for your team to be simply trained to be able to put different comments or questions in there that can simply turn around and find out whether it's Bob. In worst case scenario, they go, no, I'm not Bob, I'm Steve. And you go, Steve, fantastic. You're with John shortly. I didn't know you, but it's pleased to meet you. Hope you're having a great morning. And they will naturally engage with you as a net result. Now, all of a sudden, again, you're working towards trust. You're working on trust-based language, right? There's a whole gamut of the right NLP and sales training that I've done with guys like Ari Galper around the world that show that this is the best way forward. Simply treating people like, no worries, Bob for 11 o'clock, take a seat. That is not the best way. Yes, we've used their name, but it's pretty cold. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't help, and it's not going to foster those relationships. All you're doing again is saying, hey, take a ticket, we'll be with you in a moment. All right, that's the Coles version of doing that with their deli. What you need to be able to do is engage and get to a deeper level of understanding, a deeper relationship level with that person. Whether you know them or not, you need to be forced to get into that scenario as quickly as possible, because that's where the benefit is. If you want to thrive, if you want to get people to coming back, being raving fans, recommending you, etc., and trusting you, you need to set up that relationship and rapport. And that's not just from the therapist, that's coming from the reception admin team first up. So let me leave you with this. What are you doing in your business to guarantee that your business can thrive? There's so many simple lessons from my experience at Coles and the delicatessen that you can take right now to make 1 or 2 changes. It might take 3 seconds, but when you do, not if you do, when you make those changes and you adapt it to get more trust more quickly, a better relationship and rapport, create that commonality, that welcomeness, that gratitude, and you make people feel that straight away, they become more engaged, they're more trusting, you have a better relationship, they'll do as they're told, they will be more accountable for delivering what the therapist needs, they'll recommend you more, your business will grow and develop and thrive, and that's the cheapest way of doing it, because you're buying more clients ultimately via just doing the right thing with that person. You're not having to buy through all the marketing or throw money into the Facebook and Google ads, etc., and the marketing machine in that respect. You're going to grow more organically and more naturally in the right way with the people that you like doing business with. It's super powerful. So take the lessons that I just learnt and reinforced from Coles doing it the wrong way last week, and go and enable your business to grow and thrive right now as a result. Have a great day. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.